This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience.
Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. What does Celine / Hedi Slimane want us to wear this fall winter 2021? Ha! Well, we're gonna get to it and see it because we're gonna watch the fashion show together. Before we get to it, as always, if you like my content, subscribe here right now. Push the subscription button to my YouTube channel. You can also push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, spelled on Patreon altogether. Spelled all together, Patreon. Also for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged, who are also with us in the live chats, by the way. And also thank you to all my subscribers who have subscribed already. Also, all in my live chats. Yes, this video is being filmed live. Join me every Saturday for a live stream on my channel where we get to share all this fun time together and film all the videos that then come later on to YouTube. So my co-reviewers are with me in the chats, and we're going to watch the Celine. Autumn is the best season, says Kira. I am Lady G says, I love fall. It's also my favorite season, to be honest with you, and Halloween. So definitely a thing. Now, I got to say, this video has been taken from the Celine YouTube channel, so it falls under fair use because we will be reviewing it. However, I did change the audio because the music is copywritten, so I put audio on the video that is copyright free to use on YouTube. So just bear that in mind as we initiate the fashion show. Let's try to see if it works. There it is. The parade or parade. Vol Vicomte. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Ooh, in the middle of water. Oh, the eleganza of it all. Little harpy moment, huh? Yeah, that's poetic, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, we're loving these air flights with the drones. Hedi moments with thick eyebrows. We love our thick eyebrows. Yeah, it's a beautiful visual, but thank you for subscribing, Andrew. Beautiful visual. Black, and I get now it's black and white, so I don't know if this is gold or silver, but that little metal mesh lame or pilot little tidbit is interesting. Okay, I'm already seeing. Well, this is basically the influencer look that we have kind of learned to know since a while now, I want to say. This is a classic look that the chicks are going to serve us. The younger chicks are going to serve us on Instagram. It's something that Hedi really crystallizes. I have the feeling this is the young chick look of the times, completely. This is it. Every single look, from the the denim, the cut denim. It's a cliche because we've seen it. I'm unfortunately covering their heads all the time. Maybe I should have moved myself to the bottom of the screen or something, but so sorry about that. If my ugly mug is covering these beautiful models, I apologize because they are really beautiful. But yeah, so loving the setting. It's really windy over there. They're like dressed. Finally have the feeling they're dressed for the temperature that they're showing the fashion show in, which is something we take for granted because usually it's always 6 months ahead of time that the fashion shows, when they showcase what collection, usually indoors, spotlights overheated when you show fall winter. Usually it's a very sweaty situation, but here it feels really right. And the windiness of it all feels great. Like these clothes are in a setting where you feel like, okay, it's their natural habitat. It's the natural environment for these clothes. Super wearable, but to be honest with you guys, I mean, I love Hedi, but you can thrift you can thrift this look, obviously. You know what I mean? You can patch it together. There's a clash of different decades in there as well, especially with this piloted kind of dress that we saw in the other model just before, combined with the boots that look a little bit like reference UGG boots, but they're not, obviously. But there's this texturing and layering, a little bit of a Chanel moment there as well. It's definitely a thrift store elevated to chic levels. Celine, always famous for chunky eyewear. You know that they're always going to have some sunglasses in their collection that are going to be bestsellers, and they're going to be very, very Instagram friendly. Hedi is working on selling this, okay? And he really is, because each and every one of these pieces is extremely wearable, looks extremely comfortable, is very conforming with the times. It's not groundbreaking at all, but it delivers a vibe of now, you know, which is what Hedi always knows how to deliver the now. I'll never stress enough to repeat myself, but when he conceived the bottles, I have here an example for, you know, Christian Dior's Maison Dior, back then Collection Privée, now again renamed Collection Privée, in the early 2000s when he was at the helm of Dior. And he nailed the times even then with this kind of the forefront, the beginning of the niche for all of these major brands. He nailed it back then, and he's nailing these. Look, this looks a little bit like it could have been, oh my God, forgot his name now, whatever. Not Balenciaga, the other guy. Ooh, cha, brain dead. But anyway, there's a clash of a lot of different things here. There's a clutch with a chain. And I was telling you about the renaissance of the clutches. They're coming, and they're coming big time for autumn winter for Celine as well. Natural long flowing hair. Yes, she has that. Layering, texturing. He still believes that winter is winter in the world, even though we have climate change and winters are super warm. But I know a lot of my female friends, they always freeze, they're always cold. So for them, it's great to have all of these layers on. I can't handle, I love layering, but I'm always overheating. So for me, this would be a little bit too warm of a dress up, but it feels like a winter that we always wanted to have. I'm not a fan of this logo, this Celine logo, which is almost like a double C. It's a little bit Chanel-esque, but it is also very Renaissance-y. Not a fan of the logo, gotta say. If you take the logo off of these clothes, the clothes become more timeless. Even though, as I said before, combining the textures and the layers together, it is extremely influencer friendly. It is extremely today. You're gonna see Instagram full. We've already seen chicks wearing the cut denim jeans with the oversized coats. It's not new, and yet he manages to twirl it around to make it feel like it's completely fresh. Little details, like that little boxy square clutch, not clutch, that little, like a minaudière, but made out of leather or canvas. It just zhuzhes up the look. The little zebra pattern bag on top of this super classic conservative look, but then also the shorts that cut the notion that we have of when you're wearing a tailleur, you know, it has to have a little bit Marlene Dietrich type of look. You know, you need the long pants and you need that jacket, very tailored, but then he cuts those pants short and you have like these shorts with the serious jacket. Here, the same thing. We have a clash of different styles, of different eras, but what he does and what he does best is this nonchalant elegance. You know, it seems like, yeah, sure, of course, I just threw this old thing, I just threw this on together, this combo of looks, you know, because I'm that elegant that I don't care. Things just flow naturally for me. That's the vibe I get from this show. Now, would I combine every single look the way that they did? You know what? I might. I actually might. I would just take the Celine logos off, but I would also really enjoy the single pieces individually. You don't have to have a total look. Even though another thing that he managed to do very well here is, you know how a lot of, yeah, there are a couple of these looks that look very matchy-matchy, especially the ones that have the plaid, the tartan if you do the tartan top, tartan pants, tartan jacket, it's very matchy-matchy, right? And we have some of those matchy-matchy examples in the show, but most of the pieces are not matchy-matchy, which means even though you purchase a total look, that's what he also managed to deliver with his show. Even if you were to purchase a total look, you would not look like a fashion victim. You wouldn't look like the clothes are wearing you, because he managed to match up, in most cases, the total looks as naturally as possible, so that even though you purchase the look of the show from head to toe, you still are not going to look matchy-matchy and like a total billboard victim of the brand, which is really good because he gives you the opportunity to actually be yourself, you know? So you could also combine, I mean, okay, this is also gorgeous. I know that this is just a showstopper editorial piece, these little gowns that kind of match the whole setting and environment here, but why not? Loving the metallic lame combined with that jacket. This is beautiful to me, very fresh. What can I tell you? I mean, it works. It just works, even though it's very time specific. For Instagram today, okay? You're gonna see this worn by everybody. All the chicks that wanna be somebody on the Insta are gonna wear this, some piece from the CELINE collection. And I gotta say, I'm also really intrigued by not all the bags, but in particular, not these structured bags, but I'm really interested in trying out and testing. I might just do that. I think these bags are already hitting stores. I'm gonna check out CELINE next week, and I wanna see if they have this type of bag that this lady just rocked. But at the beginning of the show, we saw them in beige or brown hues. They look really supple and delicious brown, kind of semicircular and a bit bigger. Those I'm intrigued to try on. Like this one, but without all the metal, chunky metal hardware. I think those bags could be really beautiful and also timeless. A bag that even 10 years from now you could still wear. It looks practical. It's not going to look dated in a couple of years time from now. So I think that's all, because, you know, the classic CELINE, those, I call them the travel bag, you know, the big ones, they're very typical for CELINE, but they haven't aged well. You know, they're bags from a couple of years ago, and but truth be told, for me, if a bag stands a chance of becoming iconic in the future, it has to begin subtly, okay? That means when it hits the runway, it's not supposed to be all over social media. It's not supposed to burn itself out, you know, in a flickering flame, because then it's going to be amazing for one season. Every freaking body's going to have it, and then everybody's going to get bored of it. A bag that stands a chance at becoming an iconic bag is a bag that at the beginning, when it's first presented on the runway, it almost passes unnoticed, and then with time it builds up its reputation. That's the only chance a bag, oh, look at that little Chanel-y piece, huh? Look at the glitz and the glamour. But then combined with regular denim, why not? Look at this little leopard. Look at this little leopard piece. Thrift store realness, but I'm living for it. I'm really liking this. Oh, this little leopard piece, I wouldn't mind, you know. Oh, here he had to deliver a bit of Yves Saint Laurent magic, didn't he? Classic Hedi. It's a very well structured collection. And then we have these editorial pieces, obviously, which are also beautiful, but great for that shoot, great to represent the collection. You don't need to buy it. Oh, there's a deer coming by. Well, hello. Beautiful, very romantic. Oh, a golden teardrop. Okay. And welcome to Disneyland. Why not? Give us a bit of tacky. I don't mind that, honestly. Just a little bit of like, just sprinkle it in with a lot of elegance. This was good. The parade. Yes. Yes. You know what? Yes. What do you guys think? I'm really intrigued. Do you know what bag I'm talking about in particular towards the beginning of the show? The little brown ones. They're not that little. They're kind of semicircular, like half moons. The leather looks so supple. I'm really intrigued about that CELINE bag. Taking my Hermes crop to applaud the CELINE collection. Do you guys like this? Andy 2020 says the editing is awful, took away from the clothes. I didn't mind the editing. Orsi says, I already have some similar stuff from past years. Orsi, but that's the point. I don't think this, exactly, like these looks also, from Instagram. We're used to seeing these looks on chicks and also on some dudes since maybe 2 or 3 years already. You know, this is nothing groundbreaking. But still, the combination and the layering and the textures and the combination of different materials, from denims to wools to tartan, almost tweeds, then pilettes and metallics, meshes, like that whole, and leathers. Putting all of that together, like, he kind of managed to revamp what we've already been seeing in the past years and make it still look fresh and appealing, even though it's very thrift store realness, you know. Orsi says, I can see these items coming in Primark and Zara. Well, that's because Primark and Zara always copy the best sellers from the fashion industry. You know, that's what fast fashion does. Jesus says they're already in Zara and Primark. LOL. Okay. Obviously, you know why they're already in Primark and Zara? Because this fashion show was not just presented now. It was presented like half a year ago. I'm just showing you, we're watching this fashion show again now because now these clothes are coming into the stores. So Zara had its 6 months time to copy them and to bring them to their own stores because they're much quicker in production as well. Kevin says, Hedi sold them to me. Right? Yeah, Hedi, exactly. I think he sold them to me too. He's a master at styling, you guys, you know. Mrs. Blue says, the quick changing camera angles are making me a bit queasy. But you guys, usually a fashion show like this that is just filmed without an audience, you know, because this was also shot during that lockdown period. They tried to be inventive and creative. This just sets a mood and a tone. But then if you go to the CELINE website, you get to see every single total look individually. You know, they photographed every look separately. So this is just to give you a mood and a vibe to see if you're interested or not. But then if you're interested, you go to the website and then you check out every look individually, and then you have enough details to see about every look. So it's fine, you know. I think the fashion show as a video just suits its purpose. Sure, it could have been edited better. It could have been 1 hour long. They could have like in detail shown every piece, but this was more of a, what I liked about it is that, as I said before, the setting and the way that they're moving in these huge spaces with the wind blowing, it really feels like they were dressed correctly for that set. And because of the wind and oftentimes the camera being very distant from the models, you see them in action, you see them in movement. And to see these clothes really move outdoors as they're intended to be, they're intended to be worn, the jackets and all of these layers, when you're outside in winter and fall. So to see them actually move in the wind is really beautiful, you know. It's the dynamism, the dynamic of it all that really sold it for me as well. Leslie says, yes, and I'm going to wear this in Martha's Vineyard. It works. There you go, Leslie. Kevin says, it's trite, but I want to be these girls. Audrey says, the clothes are beautiful, but you can't get these items in H&M or Zara. It doesn't scream luxury fashion show to me. You guys, but let's not support Zara and H&M because you know that they're not ethically at all correct. Not saying that CELINE is, but I'm hoping that they are. You know, we don't have proof that they're not, but we're hoping that they're paying their workers better. They manufacture most of their clothes in Italy. We're hoping that, you know, we know that there are sweatshops in Italy as well. They're just keeping it on the low key. But until proven otherwise, we are to believe that they are more ethical. No fashion is sustainable, but at least a little bit more ethical than if you're going to purchase from Zara and H&M. You know, Paris Amaro says, Canal Street Martin for CELINE. Oh my God, you guys, you're ripping it apart, aren't you? Jesus says, the editing, girl, chill out with those cuts, disorienting AF. Okay, so you guys are ripping this show apart. Kira says, I'm more captivated by the scenery. The scenery is gorgeous. You can't compete, obviously. I don't think Hedi wanted to create clothes that would steal the show from them. Backdrop. I think the backdrop is to be respected. And yeah, Astrid, I agree with you. It's quite APC for Isabelle Marant. It does have that vibe about it. Elsa says, I love these skirts. Finally something good. I'm feeling it. Now, as I said before, you could, more than Zara and H&M, you could go thrift shopping. You could go to secondhand stores. You could go to the Goodwill. You know, you could go to all of these places and hunt down these pieces. A lot of these oversized pieces are very 80s. There's a little bit of 70s vibe in there as well. You could build this total look without needing to go to Zara and H&M, which is crap. Don't do that. Secondhand, go secondhand and find these proportions. If you like these shapes, if you like how he combined the different eras and the different typologies of dresses and the different fabrics together, you could easily go for that mood, that vibe by going secondhand shopping, you know, which is something which is as close to sustainable as we can get, is if we buy something that somebody else doesn't want to wear anymore, and hence we preserve it from becoming trash. Gary says, the camera isn't staying on one shot long enough for me to see anything. Audrey says, I love that military jacket with gold buttons. Leslie says, I love how you said the look could be thrifted. Yeah, but I didn't mean it in a shady way. I meant it in a, like, seriously, you can really, it's a very forgiving collection. It's not one of those collections that is telling you, you either buy it or you're out. Because if you don't buy what we're making now, you can't find it anywhere else. There are a lot of fashion shows and collections that are very much like, only we make it like this, and it's super special, and it's now, and it's the it thing to have. Hedi is much more forgiving. He made a collection that allows you, if you can't afford to buy a total look for, I don't know how much a total look at Celine would cost, if you were to buy the coat, the shirt, the undergarment, the pants, the shoes, the bag, the sunglasses, the earrings, like the whole look, I don't know, what would it be, $20,000 or more? If you don't got that cash, but you love the look and you love the vibe, you could totally recreate it thrifting. And that's why I say he is very forgiving. He made a choice. He made a collection that is easy to recreate as a mood. And I respect him for that, because, I mean, how much closer can you get to sustainability than this? Yes, a fashion show that has like, oh, thank you so much, Blingless Empire.
Blingless Empire donated $2. You're the best.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. So he could have created a very bougie ass show and said, you know what? It's this or nothing. He did give us a couple of editorial pieces, like those little kind of, you know, Disney princess bell dresses, you know, that are like super, you know, in your face, but that's fine. You know, he gave us a little bit of a dreamy moment, but then everything else you could definitely make it yourself. And I think that's as sustainable as fashion can get. When fashion allows you to also say, you could be totally in the now and follow the trend of the moment by buying something secondhand instead of having to buy it new and for a lot of money. Julie says they are not holding any angle long enough for us to really see the clothes. They keep moving to a different angle and then showing the surroundings too much. Sweetface says, I like the turtlenecks, boots, and flowing skirts. I'm not a fan of the wide leg jeans, but I like the half sports shirts. And you see, this is symptomatic of the fact that what Hedi did, you see, there's a little something for everyone. He's very clever that way, so that each one of us is going to find, you know, those 2 or 3 pieces that we love, and hence, what does he achieve by doing so? By finding something that each one likes? He gets clients in. He gets more clients because he's not making just one silhouette repeated 50 times and you either like it or you don't. If you don't, you're out. No, he's like, okay, you don't like this dress, but you might like these pants, and have this totally different style of jacket just coming up in the next look. So there's something for everyone. I think it's a very user-friendly collection. Olfactive says, love these chevron coats. Blingless Empire says, I'm not too careful, so I would tear up the leather on the classic box. Oh, and the little bag? Stylize rather than style, in my opinion. I mean, listen, Debbie, yeah, I agree with you. This was not just stylized, it was also very, oh my God, I need more sugar. You know, because, you know, you guys, for those of you who are watching this video later, you know I live stream for 10 hours. So people come for me because a word is missing, but a word is missing just because I have 10 other videos lined up and topics in my head that I have to think of. Manneristic, that's the word. You see, a little bit of Pepsi and I'm awake again. Stylized, Debbie Fenn, stylized rather than style in my opinion. I agree with you, and I'm going to do you one better and add the mannerism. It's a little bit manneristic, meaning that it is self-referential. It kind of also celebrates itself. It's almost as if he wanted to say, hey, I'm Hedi. I'm one of the reasons why this type of look is already established on social media since a couple of years. So, you know, like, you know, you're welcome. There's a little bit of that as well. So it is adding that little cream on top of something that it's already been crystallized in the past years, this particular type of look. And he adds one on top by fine-tuning it and stylizing it, just that extra bit more, which makes it more up-to-date. So it is manneristic. But still, even still, it's still for the people, because you can get this look at a thrift store. Jesus says, I mean, I have nothing to say about this collection. It's what younger girls wear in bigger cities to go to the grocery store. Clothes. Yeah, but there is a vibe, Jesus. It's not just... It's a specific type of styling that, to me, 10 years from now, we're going to look back at it, and this collection will be a very defining collection. Not that it's the first one to do something like this, but we're going to say, ah, yes, that was the 2020s era, you know? The beginning of the 20s, late 10s, beginning of the 20s. That's the vibe. So he encapsulates that mood very well. And the fact that the girls go grocery shopping in big cities dressed like that just shows you how powerful that is in terms of how popular it is. If chicks are going to wear this on a daily basis, that means that they like it. It just shows us that he knows exactly what he's doing. Now, we've been analyzing a lot of fashion shows together on my channel, as you guys know. So we're also used to seeing very extravagant collections, you know, like something like the modern day Schiaparelli would make, or the kind of, which is interesting, the reverse of the medal, trying to be as extravagant as Schiaparelli, but trying to make it very 2020 and hyper modern, is the modern day Mugler, which, whatever. But Mugler is also successful at the moment for whatever reason. And yet I feel that Hedi delivers a more user-friendly type of time-specific fashion of today. Elsa says, this is not fashion design, just French chic style. But it's trend, because this French chic style is not always like that. It is like that now. It evolves, it gets tweaked a little. I know exactly what you mean, and I agree with you. Because this could have been also something from 10 years ago, but he really kind of brought it to a point where he's like, okay, this is happening now. And he does that so well. That's something he always does well. Cami V says, I like wearable, but this isn't particularly special or beautiful. Kevin says, the new bourgeois Parisienne street fashion. Debbie says, I'm more Hedi Lamar. Really? But that's just my love of the classic. Blingless Empire says, I'm just offensive because I dropped money on a Triomphe bag, lol. Mikey says, influencer on their off days in mother's coat with a designer bag. Mikey says, feels too familiar. Yeah, it's been going around. That's what I said at the beginning of this review. I'm like, we've been seeing this for some years now already. LR says, it is nice, but not really special. Doesn't tell a story or a vision, in my opinion. Dacob, what do you think about the classic Celine box bag and Triomphe? I mean, to me, Celine doesn't really nail it in the department of bags. You remember when Celine had the, I don't know the name of them, but it had those 3 little leather bags attached to each other? Or was it 4 at a certain point? Like, they are so popular. Do they still make them, by the way? What's the name of that bag? Fruit fly. You know we like to get rid of fruit flies in the fashion bunker. So I'm not so sure if you mean that one. Debbie Fan says, great discussion, Dacob. Thank you so much. Drop the straw. The first one is, oh, what did we say? Sorry, you guys, this chat just jumped. Mr. Philip Habba says, girl, if this is the beginning of the 2020s, I'm gonna need to be medicated this whole decade. Listen, just because a very famous fashion designer is not afraid to showcase the mundane, that doesn't mean that that's bad. He's not afraid to say, okay, this is what people want to wear now. This is what chic is considered now, so I'm gonna make it. And we can be in denial about what the masses like, but you know, the masses are not gonna go for the crazy avant-garde. The masses are gonna go for what's safe and what conforms. That's how humanity is. That's how humans bind, socialize. Humans are social creatures, and because they're social creatures, they end up wearing uniforms a lot. Kevin says, I wouldn't mind Hedi for Chanel, but Dacob might have an aneurysm. I might just. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do thumb it up. And follow me on social media, superdacob all spelled together, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also follow me in my Chanel journey. My Chanel collection on Instagram. Coco Chanel is in my house, all spelled together, and then my other Instagram profile dedicated to the life of Coco Chanel called Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together. Till next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.